I seek refuge in God from the Satan in the name of Allah who is gracious merciful. Quran topics by Tanvir Kazmi. Chapter number 4, English audio number 6, Hell. Surah Maryam, verse 75. Say, those who choose to go astray, the most gracious will lead them on until they see what is promised for them, either the punishment on the hour, that is when they find out who really is worse off and weaker in power. Surah Mary, verse number 81. They worship beside God other gods that may be of help to them. On the contrary, they will reject their idolatry and will be their enemies. Do you not see how we unleash the devils upon the disbelievers to stir them up? Do not be impatient. We are preparing for their we are preparing for them some preparations. The day will come when we will summon the righteous before the most gracious God in a group, and we will herd the guilty to hell, to be their eternal living. No one will possess the power to intercede except those who conform to the laws of the most gracious God. Surah Mary, verse 93. Every single one in the skies and the earth is a servant of the most gracious. He has encompassed them and has counted them one by one. All of them will come before him on the day of resurrection as individuals. Surely those who believe and lead a righteous life, the most gracious will shower them with love. We thus made this Quran elucidated in your tongue in order to deliver good news to the righteous and to warn with it the opponents. Many generations before them were destroyed. Can you perceive any of them or hear from them any sound? Surah Taha, verse 11. When he came to it, he said, he was called, O Moses, Musa alayhi salam, I am your Lord, remove your sandals. You are in the sacred valley, Tuwa. I have chosen you, so listen to what is being revealed. I am God, there is no other God beside me. You shall worship me alone and observe the prayer to remember me. The hour, end of world, is surely coming. I will keep it almost hidden, for each self must be paid for its works. Do not be diverted there from by those who do not believe in it, those who pursue their own opinions, lest you fall. Surah Taha, verse 53. He is the one who made the earth habitable for you, and paved in it roads for you, and he sends down from the sky water with which we produce many different kinds of plants. Eat and raise your livestock. These are sufficient proofs for those who possess intelligence. From it we created you, into it we returned you, and from it we bring you out once more. Surah Taha, verse 74. Anyone who comes to his Lord guilty will incur hellfire, wherein he never dies nor stays alive. As for those who come to him as believers, who had led a righteous life, they attain the high ranks. The gardens of Eden, beneath which river flows, will be their living home forever. Such is the reward for those who purify themselves. Surah Taha, verse 105. They ask you about the mountains. Say, my Lord will wipe them out. He will leave them like a barren flat land. Nor even the slightest hill will you see therein, nor a dip. On that day everyone will follow the caller without the slightest deviation. All sounds will be hushed before the most gracious. You will hear nothing but whispers. On that day intercession will be useless, except for those permitted by the most gracious, and whose utterances conform to his will. He knows their past and their future, while none encompasses his knowledge. All faces will submit to the living, the eternal, and those who are burdened by their transgression will fail. As for those who worked righteousness while believing, they will leave no fear. They will have no fear of injustice or diversity. We thus reveal it in Arabic Quran, and we cited in it all kinds of prophecies that they may be saved, or it may cause them to take heed. Surah Taha, verse 124. As for the one who disregards my message, he will have a miserable life, and we resurrect them on the day of resurrection blind. They will say, my Lord, why did you summon us blind when we used to be seer? He will say, because you forgot our revelations when you come to you. Because you forgot our revelations when they come to you. You are now forgotten. We thus require those who transgress and refuse to believe in the revelations, revelations of their Lord. The punishment in the hereafter is far worse and everlasting. Surah Anbiya, verse 46. When a sample of your Lord's punishment afflicts them, they readily say, we were indeed wicked. We will establish the scales of justice on the day of resurrection. No self will suffer the least injustice. Even the equivalent of a mustard seed will be accounted for. We are the most efficient reckoners. Surah Al-Anbiya, verse 97. That is when the inevitable prophecy will come to pass, and the disbelievers will share in horror, and the disbelievers will stare in horror. Woe to us, we have been oblivious. Indeed, we have been wicked. You and the idols you worship beside Allah will be fuel for hell. This is your inevitable destiny. If those were gods, they would not leave, they would have not ended up in hell. All its inhabitants home is it forever. They will sigh and groan therein, and they will have no access to have any news. And they will have no access to any news. As for those who deserved our magnificent rewards, they will be protected from it. They will not hear its hissing. They will enjoy a home where they can get everything they desire forever. The great horror will not worry them, and the angels will receive them joyfully. This is your day that has been promised to you. On that day we will fold the heaven sky like the folding of a book, just as we initiated the first creation. We will repeat it. This is our promise. We will certainly carry it out. Surah Al-Hajj, verse 1. O people, you shall fear your Lord, for the quaking of the hour is something horrendous. The day you witness it, even a nursing mother will discard her infant, and a pregnant woman will abort her fetus. You will see the people staggering as if they are intoxicated, even though they are not intoxicated. This is because Allah's punishment is so awesome. Surah Al Hajj, verse 5. O people, if you have any doubt about resurrection, we created you from dust and subsequently from a tiny drop, which turns into a hanging embryo. Then it becomes a fetus that is given life or deemed lifeless. We thus clarify things for you. We settle in the wombs. We settle in the wombs whatever we will for a predetermined period. We then bring you out as infants. Then you reach maturity, while some of you die young. Others live to the worst age, only to find out that no more knowledge can be attained beyond certain limit. Also, you look at the land that is dead. Then, as soon as we shower it with water, it vibrates with life and grows all kinds of beautiful plants. Surah Al Hajj, verse 19. Here are two parties feuding with regard to their Lord. As for those who disbelieve, they will have clothes of fire tailored for them. Hellish liquid will be poured on top of their heads. It will cause their insides to melt, as well as their skins. They will be confined in iron pots. Whenever they try to exit such misery, they will be forced back in. Taste the agony of burning. Al-Hajj, verse 47. I challenge you to bring punishment, and Allah never fails to fulfill his and Allah never fails to fulfill his prophecy. A day of your Lord is like 1,000 of your years. Many a community in the most Many of the community in the past committed evil, and I led them on for a while. Then I punished them. To me is the ultimate destiny. Surah Al-Hajj, verse 55. As for those who disbelieve, they will continue to harbor doubts until the hour comes to them suddenly, or until the punishment of a terrible day comes to them. All sovereignty on that day belongs to God, and He will judge among them. As for those who believe and lead a righteous life, they have deserved the gardens of bliss, while those who disbelieved and rejected our revelations have incurred a shameful punishment. Surah Al Mu'minun, verse 12. We created the human being from a certain kind of mud. Subsequently, we reproduced them from a tiny drop that is placed into a well protected repository. Then we developed the drop into a hanging embryo, then developed the hanging embryo into a bite sized fetus, then created the bite size into bones, then covered the bones with flesh. We thus produce a new creature. Most blessed is God, the best creator. Then later then later on you die. Then on the day of resurrection you will be resurrected. Surah Al Mu'minun, verse 62. We never burden any self beyond its means, and we keep a record that utters the truth. No one will suffer injustice, because their minds are oblivious to this. They commit works that do not conform with this. Their works are evil. Then, when we requite their leaders with punishment, they complain. Do not complain now. You have given up all help from us. My proofs have been presented to you, but you turned back on your heels. You were too arrogant to accept them, and you defiantly disregarded them. Sadaqallahu al-Azim.